I'm ready.
Okay, so did everybody hear that? That crazy Disney lady is ready as always.
Yes,
We had a
I'm
little
ready.
technical mix-up, which
Yes.
was a little on her part, but mostly on my part because I was flaking out. None of my gear was working. I've got a laptop next to me. I've got a big monitor computer in front of me, and I'm sending her the wrong links, and things are loading and buffering forever. And yeah, that's my favorite thing. I have a very delicate touch with technology. So.
Me too. Do not feel bad. I'm the same way.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Well, it's so nice to talk to you in person. I've been a big fan for a long time, and a lot of people that know me have been more excited about this stream and this interview with you than with anybody else. I mean, literally everybody's been saying, she's great. She's great. Dean from The Live Place, Walt from Mouse Talk 2 minutes ago. Give me a message. They're all like, Tonya's great. Tonya's great.
Oh, I love them so much. I love Dean and Walt and from Mouse Talk. It's just so wonderful. Yes.
Very much.
Epcot Forever's here. Andrea. Hello, Cookie. Anthony. How's everybody doing tonight? So thank you so much for inviting me over. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So Disinfinity, you're a moderator now. You are the first official moderator of this little channel. And what do we have, like 365 people or something like that?
Hey, you got to start somewhere. We all started with 300 subscribers, right?
When did you start? I mean, that's kind of a good question. What's the timeline with you? How long ago did you start?
So I started my channel September 9th, 2018. So it's been, we just hit 2 years. Yeah.
Wow. That's 2018. That's about the time when I was working at a nonprofit and hardly getting paid anything. And it was very tense. And I would keep Josh and Jenna from Resort TV 1 in the background on all the time. So I could kind of have this therapy of walking through the parks with them. And now here I am. And becoming friends with people like you, it's pretty cool. I never would have expected it would have happened.
Yes, I'm sure that you and so many other people who are adventuring into the YouTube community will see that everybody in the YouTube community, for the most part, are super awesome people. Yeah. And it's great to have the friends and develop the friendships. It's pretty awesome.
All right, so let me do a few shout outs. I'm starting to learn what I'm doing because it's been pretty funny to see me on the first few interviews. I'm so clumsy and I can't do like walk and chew gum at the same time. So Jerry Orn, how are you? Disinfinity, how are you? You're a mod now. Caroline Thomas, how are you? 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He will start the stream shortly. Yes, we did start it at about 7:05. Anthony Simone, hi Tonya. I guess
hello.
Epcot Forever. It's live, y'all. Woo!
It's live, y'all. That's something I always say.
Cookie Harris, Anthony Simone. Hello, everybody. Disinfinity. We watched Crazy Disney Ladies Hollywood Studios video today. It was great.
Thank you.
Were you in Hollywood today, or is that from a past trip?
Oh, that was a few days ago. I did
few days ago.
I did the editing and got it uploaded this morning. I'm a very busy mom and trying to be a YouTuber all at the same time. It still seems really weird to call myself a YouTuber, but I have finally embraced it. I really have.
Hello, all the way from England. B67 from England and Andrea. So, yeah, I've seen pictures of your family. That one picture of your family, I was just looking around and you're kind of standing in front of the castle and you're all excited and your husband's kind of got this gesture and your daughter's rolling her eyes. I guess it's your daughter.
That is, that's my daughter. And that is 100% my favorite picture ever. And I can tell you a little backstory about that picture.
Yeah, give us some backstory. I love that picture. I'm like, it looks like a sitcom advertisement or something.
Well, the picture captures all of our personalities exactly. So it was actually Easter. Oh, yeah, it was Easter, and we had just gone to Liberty Tree Tavern for dinner. And I was like trying so hard to get everybody to come together for a family picture. I was like, all I want is one nice picture, and that's what I got. What happened? Are you
Nothing,
still
nothing.
there?
I just put you on all by yourself, just to brand you and let everybody know.
Oh,
This is
great.
Tonya
Thank you.
Blakely,
I
the
appreciate
crazy
that.
Disney lady. I am still here,
Oh,
and
okay.
I
I
am
was
not
like, wait, I
crazy
lost
Disney
him.
lady. No, no, I'm trying.
No,
I'm
but
trying
that
to.
was what I got. I was like, and that's perfect. Like I was asking everyone to give me one nice Easter photo, and that's what they gave me. And I was like, I love it. So that is my absolute favorite family picture because it
That's
just
great.
captured everybody's personality. Mariah is always 100% annoyed with everything I do.
How old is Mariah?
She's 23.
Oh,
And
really? I was gonna say, is she a teenager? Because that pretty much is par for the course. But she's 23.
she's 23 and she's the total opposite of me. So she's like super chill. She doesn't like any attention. She doesn't
Right.
like to talk in front of people. She doesn't really even like to talk to people in general. So she gets so annoyed because I know everybody. I talk to everybody. I never know a stranger.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah, and I'm always on the camera. And she's like, don't put me on the camera. I don't want to be on the camera. But then sometimes, like, she'll just loosen up and just, like, really take over my stream. So people who watch my channel know her a little just because every once in a while she'll pop on. So, but yeah,
Wow.
that's that.
So I had seen you from time to time. A lot of people I know you, and I kind of jump on your streams sometimes and go, "Hey, how are you?" But I was obviously because we're doing this, I was looking more into it, so I knew what the heck I was talking about. And so, did your daughter get accepted? Is that it? If remembering correctly, did your daughter get accepted into the Disney College program? And so you guys moved down here, your whole family, for
Yes.
that, and then you stayed, I
Well,
guess.
we've always been really big Disney fans, like
Right.
ever since she was born. And then, yeah, she did get accepted into the Disney College program. And it just, I feel like all the stars just aligned, you know? Like we had always wanted to move here, but life always seemed to get in the way. And
Yeah.
then it was just like she went to the University of Kentucky. She applied for the Disney College program. She got in on the first try, and then just like boom, 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 everything lined up. And we were able to move down here, and it all worked out good.
That's great. That's great. I
Yeah.
know. I know a lot of Disney College program people. This was a bad year for them, obviously, like for a lot of Disney cast, because
Yes.
they basically just sent him home. I guess they really didn't know what to say to him, and they were like, "We can't afford to just keep this going." So, interesting.
Amy said
So,
Mariah likes to talk Star Wars, though. Yes, she will
yeah,
definitely come out of her shell if you bring up the Star Wars subject.
is she
And
a
to
Star
any
Wars
guys
fanatic?
out there that are interested in dating my daughter,
Oh.
don't ever say you don't like Star Wars because you're out. Automatically out.
So are you like the Star Wars matchmaker here? If we have any guy Star Wars fanatic.
Oh my God. I'm just like,
Oh no, you're
she's
gonna be
like,
getting
Mom, if
stalked
they don't
on
like
Main
Star
Street
Wars,
now.
we don't have anything in common and I really can't talk to them any further. And I'm like, why don't you introduce them to Star Wars? You know,
That's
you can
true.
like introduce them to Star Wars. Maybe it's something I never watched anything Star Wars until like last year, I think.
Really?
Like it could be
Because of
something you
Galaxy's
can
Edge?
introduce to someone. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah, she works in Galaxy's Edge. She's a huge Star Wars fan. She's a new Star Wars fan because of Galaxy's Edge and Disney bringing Star Wars back to all the new generation.
Yeah.
I just really never got into it that much, but I was like, wow, it's a part of Disney now. And if I'm going to be out here in, doing YouTube, and I just really need to know about it. So
Right, right.
that's how that all happened.
Yeah, it's interesting too with Star Wars. It's so different, multi-generational that like I could do any trivia contest for the first three movies that came out in the 70s and the 80s because I was a teenager and early college that was into it at my age. And then the middle three movies came out and I was like, I didn't really think that were that great. And those were the new movies for the younger people then.
Right.
And then the last three movies that came out were, I think, a disaster because it wasn't nostalgic enough for either one of those two subsets of people.
Neither one. Yes.
You know, and I was like, oh, gosh.
The only people that really enjoyed like the last three movies were like the brand new generation, like my younger kids. I have also a 10 and 13-year-old. So my 10 and 13-year-olds thought that they were like the best thing ever. But then my daughter, who knows all of the Star Wars, she was like disgusted. She's like, what? Especially with the last one. Like, what was the last one called?
Was it The Last Jedi? Force Awakens. The Last Jedi was the middle one.
Not after. It was after Force Awakens. I can't remember the name of the last one that was
I don't
out.
like Star Wars, but I'm married. LOL. Epcot forever.
That's my friend Jordan.
Yeah, the last one, it was interesting because
I can't remember what the last one was called. I'm sure somebody in chat.
If anybody out there in the stream can remember.
Hi, Ear to Ear Magic. I see you in chat. Said, hey, Tonya, hello.
That sort of tells you something. We can't even remember the name.
Yeah, I want to say it was like, oh gosh. Was it Rise? Did it have Rise in it?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
That's what it was.
It was like on the tip of my tongue. Yes. That's it. That one she really didn't like. That one for her was the worst one.
Well, it was just, it was kind of, they got to the point where it was interesting. It's like Disney and the filmmakers got together. And they threw everything possible that they could in it. Pieces of old music from old things and old characters coming back. And it's like, oh, we're going to make everybody happy. And that's even worse, I think, sometimes than just having a point of view. Just like throwing everything in there, throw it all against the wall, make everybody a little happy, but nobody's really happy. So that was interesting.
That was very interesting.
My wife and I really like watching your streams because, well, I don't know. My wife said this especially. She said, whenever I watch that crazy Disney lady streams, I feel like I'm hanging out in one of the parks with my girlfriends. And I kind of get that too. You know, you just feel, you feel like you're just vicariously going along for the ride, you know, like you're one of those little guys on your shoulders that you can buy from the gift shop now. And
I've
just
had a
having
lot
good
of
time.
people say that.
Yeah, it's great.
I've had a lot of people come up and say, because I always wonder, like, is it easier to watch the live streams? Because I know, like, when I'm home, let's say I'm home, and even though I live right here, and I can go to Disney World whenever I want to, when people are over there live streaming, it just makes me want to be there even more. You know what I'm saying? So my hope is that it helps you with your Disney depression, but sometimes I'm like, does it make it worse for you? Because now you just want to be here even more. And so I talked to a lady yesterday, and I kind of asked her that same question, and she goes, and that's why I'm here right now. So if it really, I mean, and plus not only that, in today's world, like with what's going on with COVID-19, there were a lot of people that were like, uncomfortable and hesitant and, you know, not sure. And I've had so many people come up and tell me that because of watching the live streams, it made them really confident about coming back to the parks. So that I really enjoy. But tell your wife thank you. I appreciate that. I will. Compliment.
I mean, she works for Disney. I'm a recently fired cast member from Disney. So
stop! I did not know that.
Well, but you know, it's the thing. I actually did a stream the other day with a new YouTuber friend, and we were talking all about things to help Disney casts that have been laid off, and you know, resources and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, it's amazing how great of a feeling of a family it is, not just in like the YouTube community, but when you go a little more behind the stage, as they call it, and you're part of that Disney family. I thought, I'm a 58-year-old man And if this young woman were not here in this other screen next to me, and I was letting her do some of the talking, I think I'd start crying. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta end the stream right now. Sorry, I couldn't.
So I'm really sorry to hear that.
Well,
my daughter is just like on standby. She doesn't know when she's going to get that phone call, if she's going to get that phone call, what's going to happen with her. So
my wife is actually working at home right now, virtually on a computer in another room, and she hasn't been laid off. And I think that's almost the worst. People like my wife and your daughter and all those people. I've been looking at some of the Facebook, pages for cast members, and they're all like, I wish they could send us an email and tell us when it's safe. Because you're just like waiting any second, for the next
waiting game,
foot to fall.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I saw your family. Okay. One little funny thing, because I'm gonna forget this. Okay. You were doing one of your streams, and you were talking about what your husband was doing currently, and you said, "My darn husband destroyed all of the toilet seats in the house because he was so COVID crazy with bleach. And so he is currently, I hope he better be, replacing all 5 of those right now."
Yep, and they've all been replaced.
So I haven't done that, but I've used wipes and Lysol and bleach and everything, and my wife's been starting to get a little bit pissed at me too, because all the paint on the doors around the doorknobs and stuff is starting to like peel off, and
it's
she's
like fading away. Like, enough with the bleach.
So she's like, she has this little diluted soap and water spray thing now for me to go around and do soap and water instead.
Gentle. So. Let's be gentle. Let's clean gentle.
So I felt bad for your husband. I don't even know this guy, and I'm like, oh, I feel for him. I know what that feels like.
Well, luckily, our house has these, like, I never even knew these existed until we had this house built, but they're called Easy Clean toilet seats. And really? All they do is pop on and click into place. And it's so that you can click them off and on, clean everything really good, and pop the seat back on there so that no crud or anything gets in the back. So it was an easy process. All he had to do was just pop one off and pop another one on, and he was good to go.
Very cool.
Yep. And I'm sure he had the boys helping, so they're like, yay, we get to change toilet seats today.
So is the whole family a Disney family, or they're not into it as much as you? Or I guess some of your kids are grown. If you're in your 20s, you're off on your own and stuff.
Well, I have 3 kids. I have 10, 13, and 23.
Oh, so that's
And Mariah, my 23-year-old, and myself are the big Disney fans. Like, that's our thing. We've always been big on Disney. The boys, not so much. And my husband, not at all, unless it's a Disney cruise, and he's all about it.
I guess the 23-year-old then was the one that went into the Disney college program, because that time makes sense, right?
Yes.
Your channel started in 2018. She's 23. And so she went through the college program and then got a job with Disney. Is she working with them now?
So she's the one that is on furlough. Wondering.
Okay, so that's the one that's waiting for the next. Yeah, I was on furlough for 7 months. I worked at the Disney Reservation Center, which let me work for 1 month longer than people at the parks that have gotten laid off. Because furloughed, because they could send me home with a computer and work for another month. So I got laid off, furloughed on April 19th. And then after 7 months, I got laid off 3 days ago. But the unemployment was pretty good, and the federal stuff on top was pretty good. And they're encouraging us. Actually, I was talking to a leader at Disney just a few minutes ago with the camera on the computer, and they're encouraging us that, especially if the I mean, I don't know what the heck's going on with the governor and Disneyland out there. There's especially if they can open that other park. I don't think a lot of people realize, Disney is Disney as a corporation, but they don't like fully own all the theme parks in the world. So it's under, amusement parks, it's, they own these two domestic ones, and then they kind of are in a partnership with these other ones. So Disneyland being still shut down is a big deal.
It is. It's a really, really big deal. It's tough. That's like a lot of people without work for lots and lots of time.
And that whole town of Anaheim around it is turning into a ghost town. It's just, Isabel. I am glad we met, Bob, working together. Isabel sat in the cubicle next to me in the Disney Reservation Center. And we were really nervous at the beginning because it was magical, but it was like, you were expected, a lot was expected from you. It was a great job, but kind of high pressured. And you were kind of like, as an itinerary planner, you booked tours and you booked dining, but you needed to be at like a Wikipedia of every detail of every tour. So if you had a question about Wild Africa Trek or Keys to the Kingdom
about it,
or a fishing trip, it's like I needed it to, and I know about it now. Like,
well, that's great knowledge to have. Like, that's
I was going to say, if
that's going to benefit you big time in YouTube.
Give me a call.
Yeah. Like, seriously, have you ever thought about maybe being a Disney travel agent? You have so much knowledge with that. And I mean, but travel agents are taking a hard hit too, because nobody's booking vacations normally, So I don't know. I thought that all the people that are losing their jobs would be very beneficial to answer some phones, because when you call the pass holder line or any other 1-800 number, there's like a 2-hour wait. So that would help a lot.
Well, that tells you how big of a hit Disney has taken.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
I understand that. I really do.
They have people, instead of having us work, they still have some tours and stuff going on, like fishing trips. So they have other people who are working longer hours and doing overtime and stuff, who do other things like internet help desk. And, they just can't afford us right now. So
yeah.
But I'll take any Disney job I can. That's how much I love Disney. So if you're a Peter Pan and you see a guy like me who doesn't have this hat on and who's dressed in those, fairy tale uniforms, sprinkling pixie dust on your safety bar, it is me. Or if it's a janitor, it is me. I'll take whatever job. I'm putting it out there to Disney.
That would be wonderful.
Take whatever you got.
So honestly, with that being said, there was an email that was released yesterday, right? In regards to like full-timers are going to be offered like a position, like a temporary transfer or something. Did you see anything about that?
I saw something like that, but I know they're doing what they can as quick as they can. So I don't really know a lot of details on that.
Oh, okay.
And I think some of that applies more to, I don't feel sorry for myself because of that whole thing. I don't want to make this all about me. I only worked for Disney for a year. Right. Yeah. I came down like in the same kind of time span you had. Right. I came down, I worked for him for a year, and then I got laid off. There's a lot of people who have lived here for a long time and raised their families and their Disney families, and they just got laid off after 25 years.
There's a family in my neighborhood, and both of them work for Disney. Both of them. And they're both on furlough, and it's tough. It really is. So definitely sending lots of pixie dust to all of you.
Yeah. And to all those, I really hope that the live entertainment comes back. Yeehaw Bob and the band in the Floridian.
Oh, yeah. We would love to have them come back for sure.
I think when I heard about Hoop-Dee-Doo and all of those players and Spirit of Aloha at the Polynesian, Spirit of Aloha, I was like, well, they're under construction. They're not opening till the next summer. Okay, I get that. But, if anybody's ever out there been to Hoop-de-Doo Review,
It's the best.
thank you, Cookie Harris.
And honestly, like, I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's just because of the position, but I don't know. I felt like that show could actually go on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because we're having dining anyway. Like, if they must have cut the whole show only based on the fact that maybe the actors some type of union or anything like that. I don't know the logistics behind it, but I don't think it was shut down because of COVID-19, because
Union
that show could have actually continued on, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
As long
I know
as they
had
didn't come
actors equity things and stuff,
Yeah,
so it might have been a
it's
hang up we don't
different.
even know about.
And I really can't comment on it because I don't know enough about it, but I will miss that show terribly if it doesn't return.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will.
Well, so you've got a live interview with that crazy Disney lady on One Stop Mouse. I'd appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to both One Stop Mouse and that crazy Disney lady. Hit the notification buttons. So stuff like the stuff we're talking about right now changes. Like by the time we finish this stream, something new will have happened. So sometimes I'll literally stand against a wall and do a quick video just to tell people, oh my gosh, this has just happened. And when that happens, it's not scheduled. And I'm sure Tonya has the same thing. And you get to see these impromptu videos. And hit that like button too. That really helps the channels.
It really does.
Okay. So, I mean, I've seen other interviews with you, and I didn't want to just keep asking the same questions. But I saw Dole Dad's interview with you recently. And I remember that. And we'll get into that in a second because I don't know if you remember the thumbnail he had for that. It was, "This is my friend, and this is happening to her." So we'll get into
you're talking about the Inside Edition thing. Yeah.
I know. It's like you're probably
he was fired up. I think he was madder than I was. Yeah, he was fired up.
I was going to ask you. I should have asked you before the stream. Do you even want to talk about that anymore, or is that okay?
Like we could briefly, but normally we don't even bring it up anymore.
I mean, because
it's like a dead horse, you know. We just let it go. I shouldn't say a dead horse. We'll be like Elsa and let it go. But every once in a while we have sometimes we have people come in chat and say, "Hey, I found you from Inside Edition," and I'm wow, people are still watching that video. That's interesting. I think it's like at 800,000 views or something crazy like that.
It was crazy. So, I mean, they say, whoever the heck they are, that good or bad press is better than no press. So
that's what a couple of people told me. Even though I do not like any negativity coming my way, it was really hard for me because that was like my first time ever dealing with anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was tough, but I'm glad that we got through it. And my best friend Robin and I, for a minute, we were just like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Like, this is our happy place, We would go places and we would notice people like looking at us and pointing at us or taking our picture. And then I was like, are they doing that because of the channel or are they doing that because they saw Inside it? It was just like a real uncomfortable feeling altogether. But we got through it. And my daughter, who's, my 23-year-old, who's very smart and very mature. And she said, Mom, you're letting it take over too much. Like you just have to let it go because this is YouTube. This is YouTube life. And next week they won't be talking about you because they'll be talking about somebody else. And she was so right about that because in about a week or so, it really had died down and nobody was talking about it that I know of. And we moved on. So that was it. And Robin's in chat right now. Hi, Robin.
There she is. Hi, yes. Robin. How are you? Robin, the famous Robin DiPaolo. That's up on the
there she is.
Me.
There's really no reason to not say our last name because the whole world knows. we usually don't say our last name, but I'm like, the whole world knows thanks to Inside Edition and every other media.
Well, okay. So before I came down here to do this, I was really reticent. I love Disney, you know. I didn't want to do this though, because I had experiences with a business and social media and YouTube where, you know, there's mostly positive, but there's always some negative. Actually, I had a sort of a negative thing the other day where there was this sort of a guy that was harassing me, and I was about to block him, but I didn't, because it looked like he was, but he actually wasn't. He is a little slow, MR, and he couldn't really type things out so I could understand them. And he kind of was childlike, although he's like my age. And so it wasn't mean-spirited or anything. I just had to take a second and take a breath. You know what I mean? When I actually saw this thing here, I can't even point the right way. When I saw this thing here, when you guys, you know, the whole thing, when what you were doing is eating at a restaurant, and your friend who has a nut allergy, started feeling weird. It's so stupid the way people grab the wrong thing.
They really did. It just was really bad. Yeah.
And
we have a lot of people in our chat with special needs too. And after a while, you'll really get to know them and know that they mean no harm at all. And, you know, we everyone's welcome on that crazy Disney lady. So it's definitely, they are. And even when I actually do have a real life troll come into the channel, as long as they're not insulting to the point where maybe they're calling one of my friends a name or being really ridiculous, if they just come in and say something kind of silly, I'll just kind of comment on it and move on and welcome them. Sometimes I even say welcome, because I've learned that sometimes whenever you just kind of welcome them, they'll come back. You know what I'm saying? And now we have a new viewer and somebody who ultimately comes into the chat and just has a discussion with us. Every once in a while, we get some really, really ugliness coming in. And yeah, we just have to go ahead and delete. But for the most part, it's not too bad.
I have, because my channel's so small, I don't have any moderators, so I really haven't had any editing of anything or anybody to. But then, of course, too, you can't be walking around and saying hi to people when it's bright sun on the screen, and you're trying to look at these things as they're coming by fast. Mouse Talk, how are you? Welcome to the game. Not gonna lie, at Mouse Talk, I'm a bit nervous too. What are you nervous about?
Oh, I think they're having a conversation, Robin and Mouse Talk, because Robin is moving here permanently, soon, really soon.
Oh, no.
So she's got those feelings, you know. We all have had them. I'm sure Walt and Melissa can say, and just like me, and maybe even yourself and many other friends that I know. Whenever you make the decision to make that move here, you do have, you know, you're excited and you're like, you know, worried all at the same time. So those are normal feelings to have for sure.
Well, actually, I have a video on this channel. It says I'm moving to Disney, and it's all about that. And it was a big leap of faith. I mean,
it is
really seriously. I had been running this nonprofit and like making no money for a couple of years, had a little bit of savings. Things were a lot more expensive in terms of housing in Orlando than where we were in the boondocks. And we literally moved down here without a job, both of us. And
us too.
Our credit was okay. But, you know, for the nice house that we have, they required us to pay them 8 months of rent ahead of time at $1,475.
8 months?
Yeah, $1,475 a month. So that chewed up a lot of that savings we had. And then it was sort of like, oh, God, please. And then we both got jobs at Disney. it just came out of the sky, like hit us on the head, like a house in The Wizard of Oz. And we were lucky, of course, because, all the perks that come with that, park passes and great benefits and everything else.
That's so fantastic.
So, keep the faith. If you want to come down here, I'm sure it can work out. The world is kind of weird right now. It actually might be a good time. You might think it's a bad time. It might be a good time right now.
It's a good time. We're going to have a blast. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
So let me, because I haven't heard some of these sort of standard questions.
Okay.
What was the first time, when was the first time you were in a Disney park? I can remember the first Disney park I was in and what the deal was. But when were you in a Disney park for the first time?
2004 Magic Kingdom.
Very good. And you have a Southern accent.
Kentucky.
Kentucky? Yeah. I used to live in Georgia. But
we lived in New York when I came to my first Disney trip. I was still in New York then. My husband actually retired in 2004 from the military. And
I was going to say
back to Kentucky. But I was still living in New York whenever we came on our first trip to Disney.
Wow. And then what's your favorite park memory that you have? The first park that I was in. First time I was in a park is I was attending the University of Miami at the time that Epcot opened, and a bunch of fraternity brothers and it was like a clown joke. Like 10 people jammed into a car, drove up to Epcot, saw the park with the opening of Epcot, which was amazing. And then we stayed in some cheap Kissimmee hotel and went back, but it was great. And I had wanted to see Haunted Mansion since I was very, very little. I would look at these Viewmaster slides of a Haunted Mansion, like the ghosts dancing in the ballroom. And I would beg my dad to go from New York out to the West Coast to Disneyland. And he was a construction worker. He was a house painter. And he's like, we can't afford to go to Disneyland. Are you crazy? So, all right. So your favorite memory. Sorry, I interrupted you. I asked you.
No, that's fine. I love that story. That was great. My favorite memory is that first day at Magic Kingdom. That was my very favorite. Whenever we met Cinderella, I'll never forget it. It is like a whole long story, and I won't tell the whole story, but it was a great magic moment that my daughter and I experienced. And that was like the day that we were like hooked on Disney for life.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Favorite, so my favorite attraction is still Haunted Mansion. What is yours?
Favorite attraction?
Yeah.
So I don't know if Festival of Fantasy Parade would be considered an attraction, but that's like my ultimate favorite thing.
Your favorite thing? It is pretty cool.
Love it. Oh, I love that parade so much, and I could sit and watch it every single day and never get tired of it. But if you want to talk about a ride,
right?
I love Flight of Passage. I think that's so great. Yeah.
It is. I still think Rise of the Resistance is really great, but for spectacular, I just can't get over
Flight of Passage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I always say that like Rise of the Resistance is more of like an experience.
Yes.
But Flight of Passage is like a ride, and it's like super cool. You know? Yeah.
I had the strangest thing happen on that ride when I first went on it. The movie Avatar was about this quadriplegic who replaces his brother because he's got the same DNA. He gets put in this machine so he can become an avatar and run around on this planet. But they actually got a guy out of his chair the first time I rode it, who was a quadriplegic, to ride the ride, and strapped him in and everything. It kind of grabs onto you. And when he was getting off of it, he was in tears, and they let him ride it right away again. They didn't even make him go around again. He was in tears because he said it was so freeing, to be stuck in this clunky
that's such
chair.
a great story.
And that's what the movie is about a
That's what the
quadriplegic
movie
who,
is about.
so it's about life imitating art, imitating life. And I was like, you got to be kidding me, right? Is there like, am I being punked here? Is there a camera here?
Camera? Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So we know you had one live stream back in July that was like, what the hell is happening? But what unexpected great memory, good positive memory do you have from one of your live streams? That does one like stick out in your mind?
There's so many. Oh my gosh, there's so many. The last night when the park closed, Robin and I did an 18-hour straight live stream. That was pretty epic. It was like my favorite stream we ever did. And then, meeting Alice over in the UK, and Mary Poppins chose me to ride down Main Street with her one day during the live stream in one of the trolley cars. I was just like, what? I've just had so many magical moments. The holidays, the Christmas parties. I am obsessed with Cinderella and the fairy godmother. So if they give me any attention at all, I just lose my mind. Like, fairy godmother will turn around and wave and blow me a kiss and say, I love you, and I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrible. Yeah, I just love them so much. The characters mean so much to me because, oh God. Somebody's at the door. Somebody's at the door.
It's okay.
One of the kids walked out.
Do you want to get it?
Hold on. Thank you. Yeah, I knew somebody would come get him. I was hoping anyway. So
I was doing a stream the other day and my dog started vomiting right next to me, and I finally had to get up and clean it up because
you're like, okay,
the
this
two
is
dogs are
great.
going to roll around in it or something.
And that is the exact reason why I have the little tagline. It's live, y'all, because you never know what's going to happen when you're live. There is no editing. This is real life, and you never know what's going to happen. So,
oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
So Mary Poppins is my all-time favorite Disney film, the original one, the Julie Andrews one. Do you have a favorite Disney film?
Mary Poppins, all day, every day. And I absolutely love Saving Mr. Banks as well.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's so good.
Yeah. I was watching Mary Poppins on Disney. Well, okay. So I was watching Mary Poppins on Disney Plus the other day, right after I got fired from Disney World. And we get to the part where Mr. Banks is sacked and fired, and he goes crazy and goes and flies a kite. And so I started singing Supercalifragilistic.
There you go.
Yeah, Mary Poppins is the best. And what'd you think of the remake?
I didn't care for it at all. I couldn't even get into it.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. I don't know if it's because I'm such a fan of the original, but because I've been really trying to embrace the new stuff. I really do.
Right.
Like the live action Beauty and the Beast, I thought was amazing. The live action Aladdin was amazing. But the one they did with Lion King, I was like, what is this? I can't. Like, because I will tell you, when it comes to animated films, anytime, I don't care when it is, if I'm looking at the television and Frozen, the first Frozen, or The Lion King, if either one of those two movies come on, I'm watching it. I'm in. I'm there. I love those two movies.
So what do you think of the live action remake of Lion King?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's what you said. You like that.
I love the Lion King, but the live action one, I thought, what is this?
Yeah. No. I don't know what it is. And The Mandalorian has freaked me out. I love The Mandalorian so much. I did a classic movie thing last night, and I was trying to tell people to watch a few old Westerns with Clint Eastwood, like The Outlaw Josie Wales, because I was trying to tell them, if you like The Mandalorian, you'll like these, even though you don't like that kind of genre of film, because it's the exact same thing with the guy with the silver helmet on.
I still have not watched The Mandalorian, but I assume that it is very, very good because I haven't heard any one person say that they didn't like it. Like everybody I've ever talked to say it's great. So
what's so great about live streaming that you get out there and you do it? How many times a week do you do it? 3 times a week? 2 times a week?
I try to do it 3 times a week, but
Right.
for sure 2 times a week.
Okay,
sure.
So what
but
do you love
usually
about
Tuesday,
it?
Wednesday, and Saturday are usually my all the days that I stream. And I love it because I get to talk to the people. I love talking to the people. And it's just the connection that I have with them and sharing Disney with them and talking to them about everything. We don't only talk about Disney, we just talk about everything, like our lives and things we have in common and what everybody's doing today. I don't know. It's just I love people and I like talking with them, and the connection that we have with everybody is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, you can see that. Has any of that?
Yeah, because like the thing is, like when you're vlogging, you're just randomly talking to a camera, and then you go home and you edit it out, and you don't really have a conversation with people. Right. And live streaming, you get to see everything in real time, how it's actually happening, and have a conversation with people. And, technology is amazing. There was a time that, I remember saying, wouldn't it be cool one day if like we could see each other on our phone and talk to each other, and here we are, we're actually doing that. And we're doing that all over the world. Like people will tune in and they're in Africa or UK or China or, just all around the world. There is a young man that is part of a fishing team. I don't know if it's a team, but it's their job. They're fishermen. They go out on the boat, they fish, they bring it back into the Bahamas. And he sent me a picture one day of him and all the fishermen, and it said, "We're watching that crazy Disney lady with all these fish that they caught." And I was like mind blown over that. That was just so good. I think it's amazing. So it's just the people, meeting people and hearing people's stories. And, I just love it so much.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, I've been doing more streams lately because of what I said a minute ago about how things change so quickly. I've got a couple of videos that I've been editing that for like a month and a half, because every time I'm about to put it out there, it's changed and it's moot. And so, but when I'm talking to somebody, the other thing too is as such a teeny channel, like where you started, I get to meet you now. I get to talk to you, have a conversation. If I get on your chat, I say something, or if I see you in the park, it's like, we met each other. And it's nice to be making those friends.
It is, for sure.
Well, I thank you so much for coming on. I know you're real busy. And I was so happy. And like I was telling you right before we started, all of my friends were really excited that I was going to get that crazy Disney lady on. So like I said before, guys, if you could please subscribe to both One Stop Mouse and That Crazy Disney Lady, and hit that notification bell and like us. And just on a personal aside, tomorrow night at 10 p.m., I'm going to be doing a special collaborative live stream for one of the last nights of the Live Places movie marathon week. And we're going to review and have a discussion about the film The Greatest Showman. So I would really appreciate it.
That's tomorrow night at 10?
Tomorrow night at 10, yeah.
Awesome.
Is a nice young woman who has a small channel like me. It's called Make It Blue, a Disney Adventure. And she's been starting up a movement of trying to help cast members and getting information out there. And she's going to be doing that. So all of a sudden, we've done a couple of streams together in just a few days. But
that's fantastic.
I hope I see you out there. And
I'm sure you will.
I'll be
let's
praying.
see, what's tomorrow? Friday? Tomorrow
Friday.
I'll be at Magic Kingdom tomorrow because every Friday I go to Magic Kingdom. That's just my time. Friday or Sunday. If I can't make it on a Friday for some reason, then I go on Sunday. But that's like my me time. Magic Kingdom's my happy place. That's where I want to be. And then Saturday I'm going to be at Epcot. So if you're over there, say hello because I'll be live on my YouTube channel.
That's great. That's great. I'm sure that I'll see you one day. I usually have a baseball cap or something on. I don't wear this stupid thing. You know, it's a good thing I'm bald. This hat would kill me.
That's a great look for you. You need to
sun.
just stay with the fedora. That looks fantastic.
I actually did. I kept wearing it because somebody said, you're the only guy who's doing a Disney YouTube channel who's got an Indiana Jones hat. So at least she'll be
there
unique.
You go. Yeah.
You see?
Unique.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tonya, for joining us. And
well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And thanks for inviting me and reaching out because I'm always down for like coming over and meeting new people. I think it's great. So I know whenever you reached out, and I know how that can be because I've done that to people. I'm like, I'm going to just message them and see. You want to know who my very first interview was? Equity Ben. Equity Ben. I was a nervous wreck, sweating bullets, and he and I are friends now. So consider us friends, and if you see me in the park, come say hello.
I don't know Equity Ben, but I know a friend of Equity Ben's who has a YouTube channel called Laramie on the Loose. And I've heard about Equity Ben. And yeah, I was going to say, I would love to talk to Equity Ben. Maybe I'll get you to hook me up and talk to him. I have seen him in that Frozen show so many times. So what is his situation anyway? He got laid off and now he's back to work. Is that correct? I don't know. I don't know.
Only thing I know of.
They started the Frozen show again.
Yeah, but he resigned. He's not coming back. But the Frozen show is back. Yeah. He's decided to explore his own thing and do his own thing. He's got a stand-up comedy show and other things in the works and stuff. So he's loving being a stay-at-home dad right now.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, that is great.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming and see us. Come back and see us again real soon. Why? Because we like you. Take care. Hang on just a second, Tonya.